With the 18th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jaelan Phillips, defensive end, Miami.
He won't have to move far going from the U to the Dolphins. Jaelan Phillips, a remarkable backstory on this player. And you see the
junior year. This guy is special, got to know his family. This guy is a difference maker. The pocket collapses on his side repeatedly over and over and over again. Jaelan, I'll give you a text later tonight. Good luck, man. Proud of you.
There goes Mike Gesicki. My goodness.
I'm OG, y'all new to the game.
Powers in for the Miami touchdown. Patrick's going to take a deep shot for Preston Williams. What a start.
Tua down the middle.
Picked off by Byron Jones. Dolphins score.
And hello there, guys, and welcome back to another installment of Juan on Juan. It's your host, Juan C, aka Exclusivity, EXCLUSVTY. You can catch all my rants, my screaming, my hollering, my bitching and moaning on Twitter there. But today, and what we're here to do, is to break down Jaelan Phillips. Because to me, this is not a typical Chris Grier selection, I would say. This is a home run or bust with no gray area. This guy will be either one of the best in the league or will not be playing much at all, in my opinion. I feel like Jaelan Phillips is really boom or bust, and we're going to see how that kind of works out. Before we get to my thoughts on him, I want to show you guys a quick little clip of Brett Coleman. He does a great job breaking down how nuanced Jaelan is, and let's just dive in.
To his game as a pass rusher that tackles could never really guess what he was going to do on a snap-to-snap basis. Take this series of plays from the Virginia Tech game as an example. On this first rush, Phillips hit the right tackle with a beautiful combo to jab step inside to try to freeze the tackle's feet, and then he stepped wide with a cross-chop move to neutralize the tackle's outside hand so that he couldn't catch him going around the edge. Jaelan then finished with a really nice dip and almost got a sack out of it, but the ball was out too quickly. This was a textbook cross-chop move, which is a combo that I've broken down quite a bit on this channel before with other players, so I won't bore you with the details on it again. But what I really want you to take from this is now look at what he does 2 plays later after that successful cross-chop to really mess with the tackle's head and win on an inside counter. This is the same alignment, the same jab step to the inside, but this time Phillip fakes the outside step like he's going for that cross chop again. The tackle mirrors it outside as well because it all looks the same to him, and now look at where we're at on that second step. Phillips has this tackle right where he wants him. He's wide and way too overset. He's giving a soft inside shoulder. All Phillips had to do was just plant that left foot, grab the tackle's inside hand to neutralize it, get skinny, and finish with an arm over inside, and there's the sack. This move was entirely set up by the win on the cross chop a couple plays ago, and it paid off with a huge negative play for the defense. This is what true pros do. It's not just about winning with talent, it's about winning with smarts. All of the best rushers in the league, the Watt brothers included, have a lot of clubs in their bag at any given moment, and they can use as many or as few of them as they need to get the job done, and Phillips is the same way. He can beat you in so many different ways that it's really hard to prepare for him effectively.
And shout out to Brett for that great breakdown of Jaelan, man. And it truly gave me the idea of back in March when he first dropped it and I first started to actually follow him, of who Jaelan Phillips was, what he could bring to a team, and just kind of seeing more or less with my own eyes. I see it, and doing my own research, man. The kid is talented. You know, he was regarded as the #1 overall recruit by 247 Sports coming out of high school in 2017. I loved his interview with the media down here in South Florida. He was super honest, humble, and above all, just grateful. You know, he said something where it was LA made him, but Miami saved him. And I loved that because of his humbleness and really just how honest and forthcoming he was about his medicals and really how he had nothing to hide with pro teams. So that was kind of like a good thing for me when I saw that and I heard him say that stuff. When asked what he could bring to the team, this caught me off guard. He said tenacity and hard work, and you don't really hear that from star players or first round picks, especially ones that are drafted as high as he did. You know, he was a first round pick. I get it in the 18th as the 18th selection, but that's still a very high selection for somebody who, you know, 18 months ago probably didn't even know if he was going to be playing football ever again. To be going to the first round it's pretty insane. I love that he said that he watches a lot of tape of LT, of Sean Merriman, of the Watt and the Bosa Bros, and Chandler Jones, which is great because those are all guys that I feel like he can emulate and kind of take little bits of things from. He said he's played both as an end in a 4-3 or as an outside linebacker in a 3-4, so you can definitely see the position flexibility that a coach like Brian Flores would absolutely covet and love and admire. This is to me probably the greatest thing for him. It's just he's a hustle guy that shows elite athleticism, and you see it multiple times where with Trevor Lawrence he steps up and he rushes to almost be the first one to bring the quarterback down after over rushing him, if that makes sense. He has an explosive first step. I've seen some guys say it's the best of its class. He's elite when it comes to speed to power, so when he's about to speed rush an offensive lineman and he just wants to flip the switch to go to power, he's very elite in doing that. He has great bend, man, for somebody who's 6'5", 260. You know, we're not going to ever mistake him for somebody like Cam Wake, who can, you know, bend at a 45-degree angle, but he has some good natural bend to him. He's very comfortable with his hand on the ground or standing up, and that's, you know, obviously evident by him saying that he's played in the 4-3 and a 3-4. He's super nuanced in his pass rushing moves, like Brett was giving you an idea of earlier on. Very good with his hand placement. There was very few times where an offensive lineman was able to beat him consistently throughout the game, and you saw the growth just in the game itself. He can do inside counters, he can use long arms, rips, euro steps, he can backdoor blocks, stunts. Those are all things that he could do right away in the NFL, so that's not going to be something that's going to hold him back. He uses his hands extremely well, with both location and in power. A lot of guys it's either or, some don't even have both. He has both. But he was stopped by some of the more nuanced blockers, maybe the more experienced guys. But he adapted, and by the end of the game, he was beating them consistently. And this is probably my ultimate point in Jaelan Phillips, is that I don't think we've even gotten close to the ceiling of what he could potentially be. And when I say that, I mean that in the sense that he's only been in the program as far as the University of Miami for 18 months. Before that, he had obviously medically retired because of the concussions or what have you. But through the first 6 games at the University of Miami, Jaelan had 4.5 tackles and 1.5 sacks. And you have to understand that when you're coming in and you're starting to go against, you know, top linemen who potentially could be first-round picks and that type of stuff, you are going to struggle. You are going to have an adjustment period, and sometimes it takes longer for others than for some. Fortunately for him, I feel like he's yet to even reach the ceiling. His last 4 games at the University of Miami, he had 11 tackles for losses and 6.5 sacks. So the projection is very sky high for Jaelan Phillips. I definitely feel like this is a player who could potentially come in his first season and absolutely shatter Javon Curse's rookie sack record. I believe it was 14.5 sacks in 1999. I could easily see him getting 15. I could easily see him getting 12. But I feel like his range will be this year between 12 to 15 sacks, to where if Calvin Noy was walking into 6 sacks because of how Brian Flores schemed the defense, I have no problems with saying Jaelan Phillips will be touching double-digit sacks this year. And for the foreseeable future, man, this guy is somebody who could have the potential to be a top 3, top 5 defensive end who really force his team to stop and game plan for him, which is not something that we've accustomed to here with the Brian Flores regime, where it was more of clogs in a big machine. with Brian basically being the master conductor and running it like a well-oiled machine. But I think at this point they are going more for home run picks over culture picks. We've had, you know, some good culture picks like Christian Wilkins and that sort of stuff that fit into the program. But now it's time to get explosive. Now it's time to get, you know, popping in a sense. And I'm here for it, man. I'm really excited to see Jaelan Phillips in that 15, which is crazy to think about for somebody who's been watching the pros forever. But I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to see what he could really do in the aqua and teal, or aqua and orange. Thank you for your time. Peace.
Dolphins score!